So let's look at basic logic. Logic 101, Logic 100, maybe Logic 0.1, the old if P then Q thing. If the statement if P then Q is true, then there are some other things that follow. Let me just give you a chart, not go through all of that. We have the inverse, the contrapositive, and the converse. Now let's look at the second law of thermodynamics, entropy, which in a very succinct way states if a system is closed, then entropy applies. That is, if a system is closed, energy goes from usefulness to not usefulness. The whole system goes from organization to not organization or randomness. We might mentally think of this as if a system is closed, the whole system goes downhill over time. That is the second law of thermodynamics, and that is always true. Now, if we put that into the form if P then Q, P is the system is closed. Q is entropy applies. The inverse, if not P, then not Q, is not necessarily true. That is, if the system is not closed, entropy does not apply, is not necessarily true. Creationists have used the second law of thermodynamics to defeat evolution. That is the part of evolution that includes the beginning of life, that is, abiogenesis. Abiogenesis is not part of the theory of evolution. Yeah, whatever, okay, we will just say to defeat the atheistic, humanistic claims for the beginning of life. That organization cannot grow by natural causes based on the second law of thermodynamics. Evolutionists, atheistic humanists, have countered by saying the Earth is not a closed system, and therefore entropy cannot be used to defeat abiogenesis. A highly credentialed atheist humanist, a PhD physicist from MIT, said,
"You start with a random clump of atoms, and if you shine light on it for long enough, it should not be so surprising that you get a plant."
Jeremy England should know better. Going back to the basic laws of logic, if P then Q is true, and in the case of entropy it is. That is, if a system is closed, entropy applies. However, if not P, then not Q does not necessarily apply. That is, if the system is not closed, entropy does not apply, is not necessarily true by the laws of basic logic. And the atheist humanists cannot use the inverse of the statement to disprove the statement. I've gone into that in more detail in this post, and I have reposted it now so that it comes in my account just behind what I'm saying today. Check it out.